This summer, I worked a seasonal 90-day contract at a cemetery and made a series about it. If you haven't watched that series, I recommend scrolling through it before watching this video. I'm making this video to recap, add commentary, and add a conclusion to the series. Now here's a montage of the animals I saw at the cemetery. This is not an all-inclusive list, just the ones I was able to document and some honorable mentions. I have to add, frogs were definitely my favorite animal working at the cemetery because I got to see them often in most every tree bag. They also gave me confidence that mosquitoes wouldn't be able to farm their eggs in the standing water of the tree bags because the frogs would eat them. Let's talk about the behind the scenes and how the series came about. So it was my second week of work at the cemetery while I was still learning everything. I thought it was a pretty cool job, but I wonder if there's some way to document this. My friend and I had just created this channel recently for a school project. After checking with him, he said it was cool if I added this, and then I wondered about the legalities. After a few exchange emails with the HR department, the response was a general, "We don't see any reason to tell you no," and so I started filming. Some of the challenges I faced putting this series together were: 1. Finding time. I knew I had a bit of time after finishing weeding or cleaning up a tree before moving to the next one that I could do a take. That meant if the take didn't work out, I would just have to wait until later to try again. 2. Planning. It was hard to figure out what was worth documenting, and I wanted to keep the videos interesting, so it took quite a bit of thought beforehand to figure out how I would catch things on camera. 3. Setup. I had a GoPro and my phone, and to figure out how to get what I wanted on camera, I commonly use setups like these. While putting this series together, I didn't want to spend so much time editing, and so I kept a very simple editing style, just simple text and cuts. That being said, some clips ended up having to get cut pretty weird. By the end of the summer, I had learned a lot. My time management improved, I was more comfortable in front of the camera setting up and doing a take, and I figured out through trial and error what did or didn't look good. Now here's a bunch of photos I took on the job. And finally, some selfies I took. This summer worked out really well for me. It was an experience that I would definitely recommend if you ever have a similar opportunity. I got to enjoy time in solitude with my thoughts to myself, I found time to stay fit, and I got to learn about a place I never knew I would. Before this job, I never realized how many people visit cemeteries on the regular, so I got to show up to work each day to see my work being appreciated and worthwhile. I also got hours and hours of experience with various tools and machinery. Overall, I got fantastic job experience, got a paycheck, and got to feel good for showing up each day. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.